Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. So we're going to do a Q&A today because I'm streaming on Twitch right now and someone said, hey, why don't you do a Q&A? I asked the stream, they're like, yeah, let's do one. So I don't have a second video for today, so that's what this is going to be. So let's get into it. Someone's asking, since you play Pokemon Go, will I be playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu? Will I upload it to my second channel? I will be playing it. Whether I upload it is a different type of beast, because you have to remember Nintendo Switch is not PC, so it's harder to record stuff on a Nintendo Switch. Also, Nintendo hates YouTubers. In order to do YouTube content with Nintendo and not get copyright flagged, you've got to sign like a partnership deal with them. So the honest answer is probably no, because Nintendo just doesn't like YouTubers. But I will be playing it. Next thing is, if you were on the balance team, what would be the changes you make to the game? Basically, just revert everything they've done this season. Like, I'm not even kidding. This season just has sucked, in my opinion, for meta. And that's my personal opinion. For other people, they've enjoyed it. But there is a reason that a lot of people are leaving the game. So that's all I would do, is just kind of revert whatever they've done and start over. Someone's saying, should I do an A to Z series? Nah, I'm not interested to do the A to Z. The reason why I stopped the A to Z is because there are definitely champions that I just don't want to play. But the whole point of A to Z is to play everything. And it was that one episode of Master Yi that pushed it over the edge. That I was actually playing quite well on Master Yi, and because I was having fun, I was goofing around, people took that as I was, like, flaming. I don't really know what they took it as, but I was like, screw that. If I can't have fun while doing A to Z, what the hell's the point? So I was just like, screw that, sorry, it's cancelled. And, yeah, and I know that's sad that it got cancelled because of, like, some negative feedback and negative people, but that's just the way of things. It's the same as TV shows. If stuff, goes negative, they just cancel the show. How's the intermittent fasting going? I heard I went from a 4-hour slot to a 6-hour. Yeah. So I'm doing intermittent fasting right now. I've lost roughly 9 to 10 pounds, give or take, for the past couple of weeks. I would have lost more, but I stopped doing it for a few days. Twice. Once because I actually did feel a little bit ill. A little bit lightheaded because I wasn't eating enough. The thing about intermittent fasting is you've actually got to have a very big meal because that's your main meal of the day. But what I'm doing now is I'm basically having my meal of the day, whenever that may be, but like a couple hours before that meal or a couple hours after, I have a packet of like beef biltong. So it's just pure protein, a pack of meat, basically. And that's kind of helping me kind of stay over the edge. Like right now, it's 4:20 in the afternoon. This is all I've had for the whole of today because I'm going out later for an actual meal. So, you know, it's basically just adjusting it to when you need to eat. But I'm doing a 6-hour window because it's just a little bit easier to do. The actual recommended is an 8-hour window. And the way that if you really want to get into intermittent fasting, do the 8-hour window first, then maybe 6, and keep a 6 is fine. But there are some days that apparently if you really want to get into weight loss very quick, and obviously I'm not a doctor, so don't trust what I say, it's my own personal research. If you can just miss a day of eating once a week or once a fortnight, apparently that really boosts how much you actually lose. So I might try that, but I will definitely be trying that on a day off. I won't be attempting to record content on a day that I don't eat. So, yeah. Who is the hardest champion to master? I can safely say no one has mastered a champion in League, pretty much. Like, Faker's probably the closest player to mastering champions. But yeah, like, I actually don't think there's such a thing as mastering a champion. Again, just make it, because whenever you say about that type of thing, Mastery 7 doesn't mean you've mastered a champion. Mastery system is useless in League. But actually being, like, knowing everything about that champion, I don't think anybody has. I think it's a thing that doesn't exist because the game is constantly changing. New champions, new items, new builds, new matchups, new patches. Like, I think it's actually a thing that isn't a thing in League, is mastering a champ. You can get very, very good with a champion, but I don't think mastering is actually a thing. What do I think about Aatrox's state in the game? Aatrox actually seems quite strong. Again, the outroar of this Aatrox sucks, blah, blah, blah. It's the way of things. I think it happens more with reworks than actual new champions because there are so many people that used to play the old version. It was like, oh, the old version was better. And it never is, practically. Like, it's very rare for the old version to be better. And I don't think in all of their massive major reworks, the old version has never been better. Like, some people give the example of, like, you know, oh, they reverted Rengar and LeBlanc. Yeah, like, one or two of their abilities. Like, when I talk about a full champion rework, so the Warwick, the Gangplank, the Scion, Swain, Aatrox, I don't think any of the old version was better than the new, which is just kind of obvious. And eventually, obviously, all the old champions and the more basic champions, I reckon they're also going to be fully reworked. Like, I do reckon we're going to get to a stage in League of Legends in the next few years that the champion that the likes of Master Yi's and Trindamirs, the more like basic auto attacks, I don't think they're going to exist. I think, like, if you look at Riot and what they're doing, they are phasing that type of champion out. Aatrox was literally one of those champions. Gone. Like, you know, I think they are phasing that out. Someone's asking about the 1v1 tournament. So the 1v1 tournament is going to be happening. We're 4 subscribers. I've changed the goal to 275 Twitch subscribers. So 4 more Twitch subscribers, and I will be organizing a Twitch 1v1 tournament that will be uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, it'll be fun. We will be playing on North America more in that 1v1 because the last one we mainly focused on the US. But again, it's something that I do want to do more of because it was just really fun. So yeah, 4 more Twitch subscribers, and we'll be organising one of those, which should be awesome. When it's super hot outside, iced coffee, ice cream, iced coffee, 100%. I'm not massive into ice cream. Like, I'm going to Rome next month, and I will be having ice cream in Rome, obviously. There's this one ice cream parlor just to the right of the Trevi Fountain. It's the best ice cream in Rome. So, sure, when it's amazing ice cream, but the vast majority of the time, iced coffee. Will I come to Japan one day? 100% I will be. 100%. Like, I really want to go to Japan. Like, I'm not a weeb, but I do like their culture. Like, I think a weeb, the definition of a weeb is you want to be Japanese and you kind of pretend you're Japanese and you're learning Japanese. I have no interest in that. But I just like their culture, and the architecture of the buildings is really, like, cool, and the temples would be cool to go around. And apparently the buzz, if you're in certain, like, Tokyo, the city buzz is different than anywhere else. So it is something that is definitely going to be on my list. You know, I'd probably go next week if I had people to go with. I know that sounds sad, but, you know, all my friends, let's say they're not as fortunate as I am that I could afford to go to Japan. And also they work, you know, I can just record content and go on holiday whenever I want, and I just prepare the content in advance. Yeah, normal people can't do that, because obviously I'm self-employed, I can. Next one is, do I think someone can get diamond with bad decision-making, but really good mechanics? Not really. Like, maybe, but that's actually the harder way round of doing it. It's actually easier to get diamond with good decision-making and bad mechanics. Hell, a lot of diamond players are like that. So I don't know, like, bad decision-making but good mechanics. I'm not going to say no, because there's definitely people that are like that. Like, sometimes you're in Diamond and you're like, what is this person doing? You know, like the other day, I was playing on my main account and there was a Misfortune, a 600 game Misfortune one trick. In Diamond 5, she only split push. Only. And she was like, we were asking, hey, do you want to group your Misfortune? No, I only split push. I only go for Nexus. On Misfortune, and she was trying to, like, 1v1 people on Misfortune, but she was Diamond. So the worst decision-making I've ever seen on an AD carry player, but she got Diamond. So it's definitely possible, but you're just making it very hard for yourself. Any tips on how to start YouTube to teach others as you do? Number one is you'll probably need to be very high rated to be taken seriously. If I was, you know, obviously my main account right now is in Diamond 5, but let's just say I average being in Diamond 3, I doubt I'd make it as a YouTuber anymore. If I were to start now as a Diamond 3 player trying to tell people how to play, I doubt it. Like, I'm already kind of like in the YouTube world, and I grew when it was smaller. And it was still hard to grow when I was, you know, growing like right at the beginning. But I reckon if you want to be a new YouTuber and be relatively successful and like have, like, obviously there's no chance of success, like promised success, I'd say you'd probably need to be minimum a master player without, yeah, probably master, like, before you make any content. Because you always have to be, the question you've always got to ask is, why is someone going to watch you over other people? People watch me, I think, for my experience and maybe partially my personality. That's why, you know, some people either love what I do or hate what I do, because my personality is love or hate sometimes. But if you're trying to teach people the game and you're less than master, well, there's abundance of diamond content creators that are still, like, are big, good content creators that are teaching people. There's a decent amount of master people, and there's a decent amount of challenger people. So what's making you different? And the higher rating you can be, the better your chances will be to be different. So that's what I'd say, is just focus on being as high rating as you can. Next thing is, will I try and get the Hextech Poppy skin? Most likely. My main account has nearly 10 gemstones, I think, and we'll probably go for that one before Hextech Annie once again. But yeah, like, I'll probably get Poppy. Like, I really like Poppy anyway, so yeah. Next question. Who do I think is screaming out for a rework next? Or would it be mostly visual or kit-based? I'm biased, but I guess this is my Q&A. Again, I'd phase out, like, the Trindamirs and that type of champion. Garen, Tryndamere, Master Yi. I would slowly get rid of those champions. Not get rid of them, obviously. Remake them. Make them better. Because, yeah, I just think they could be so much more. When I look at Garen and his design, especially with his God King skin, it looks epic. And then I'm just let down by his gameplay. I'm like, well, his gameplay is just really boring. So I think, like, those champions would be on my list personally, but I'm sure there's others, like Morgana. Like, think of the old champions. Fiddlesticks is in a pretty weird place at the moment. There's a lot. Like, Riot have a lot of their hands, to be honest. So, yeah. Next question is most anticipated E3 games. Spider-Man on PS4, Elder Scrolls, the next one, and what is that game? The Iron Man game? It's not you, people know what I mean. It's nothing to do with Iron Man himself, but it's like, thank you very much. You've got a mech and you can fly around and stuff. Like, that would be pretty legit in my opinion. Thanks very much, Ark Enua. And again, just remind everybody, I am scrolling down through the Twitch chat very slowly, so I'm probably way scrolled up. So if you're putting new questions in, I won't see those for ages. And again, don't spam your questions, because again, I am going through the list slowly. Do I think if the meta stays at the stage of chaos, will the new rank system coming 2019 ruin the game completely? There's a chance. Like, again, I've been very defensive over League for the past few years. And when people have always asked me the question, do I think League is dying? I've always said, no, that's a silly thing. I'm at the stage now that I'm like, it's close to be. Again, there are players leaving. I can say that very confidently. That I might know a bit more than the average person. But there are people leaving quite a lot. And it's the most divisive it's ever been. Because, again, the statistic is, from what I've heard, is that the most amount of players that are leaving right now, it's the highest amount of percentage players that are leaving the game is right now, but it's also the highest percentage of people that are playing the game, of time. So the people that are playing the game are playing more than ever, but the people that, like, don't like what's going on are just quitting. They are just leaving the game, which is obviously not a very healthy thing to do. So, yeah. So, meh. What's my favorite cuisines? A lot. Like, you don't get to my size. Again, I'm not massive, but you don't get to overweight if you don't like food, let's be honest. I'm going to a, like, oh, I can't, it's like a South American steak place, I think. Or it might, no, I don't know what it is, but I love obviously like steak and that type of thing. But like Chinese food, Mexican, sushi, you know, standard British stuff is always nice. Occasionally, barbecues or braais in my family because my dad's South African. I don't know. I'm just big into just food in general. Like, I'm not fussy. If I could remove any champion from the game, who would it be? Zoe. I still to this day think Zoe was probably the biggest mistake of a champion Riot has made. I just don't think her design fits with the game, and I think she'll never be healthy for the game, ever. So yeah, Zoe. I just dislike a champion that is based off RNG. Lately, we saw many people, frustration in general from people on YouTube, streaming, and friends. What is suggestion for these people, high or low rated, that are frustrated, and what would you try to change the League community to make the frustration? I have no idea. I nearly uninstalled League of Legends yesterday, so I'm the wrong person to ask about how to, like, you know, control frustration. It's the first time that I ever hovered over the uninstall in 10 years of playing this game. And that's me. And this is my full-time job. And if I'm that frustrated and this is my full-time job, I can't imagine what other people are like. So, yeah. Am I going to watch the Boku no Hero movie? Hell yeah, dude. Like, ask a silly question. Like, Boku no Hero, I'm not even kidding, has turned into my favorite anime. Like, I've had the most smiles on my face and literally punching the air moments in that anime than any other anime I've ever watched. So, like, I do love other stuff, like, you know, Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Death Note. Like, I love all that stuff, Hunter x Hunter, but none of them has given me the joy that Boku no Hero has. So, yeah, I'll be watching everything that they put out for the rest of my life. And I'm hoping, because apparently it's turned into a top 3 anime in Japan, we could have Boku no Hero for the next 10, 15 years, kind of like a One Piece or a Naruto. So, let's hope. Why don't I play some games with my friends? All my friends have quit League. The only people that haven't quit League is Fire and Fox, and it's two, like, one, I don't do a queue, but obviously, yeah, we're all YouTubers, so it's hard to, like, organize stuff, and we don't have 5 people. But my own personal friend group, that, you know, the Flex with Friends group, they've all quit League. So, yeah, I don't have people to play with, sadly. Next thing, through your contacts at Riot, have you heard their opinion? Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about it, sadly. All I'll say, when it comes to me working with Riot and stuff with Riot, the other day, I had to sign an NDA. So stuff may be happening more closely with Riot, but yeah, I don't want to say anything more just in case I do something wrong. Next question. How viable do I think Viger is? I don't think he's bad. It's just, if the game goes out of your control in the early game, you're basically screwed because you can't really do anything in the early game as Viger. But that's a lot of mid laners. Like, that's a lot of my champion pool, and that's probably the bad thing on my champion pool. I don't snowball in the early game because none of my champions are early game champions. So that's something that I might need to adjust. But yeah, like, I don't think he's bad. You could one-shot people very effectively on him, but it just, if the early game, like, you know, you're in mid, your top laner feeds, your bot lane is feeding, there's not a whole lot you can do. So, yeah. Next question. Am I going back to the gym? Right now, no, because again, I had the whole problems with throwing up blood. I haven't been back since, and on my birthday, I got very ill because of it, and that was actually one of the worst days I've had from it. Basically what I'm doing is I'm in the process of fixing my sleep schedule right now. So I'm waking up a little bit earlier every single day. And the earlier I wake up, then then I'm going to start going to the gym in the mid-morning. Because, like, whenever I used to go to the gym, it was always about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And by the time I got home and I, like, rested a little bit, I wasn't in the mood to record. And if I had to, they were never good episodes because I was so tired. But if I could go to the gym a couple times a week in the morning, come home, rest a little bit, and then begin recording, I think that would be really good. And I know this is going to be like, really? Being a YouTuber is bad for a sleep schedule, but the way that I'm thinking about it, if I can go to the gym, if I leave my house about 10:30 in the morning, I'm at the gym for about 11, I do an hour exercise, half an hour home, I'm home at about 11:30. 11:30, 12 o'clock, I'm home. I normally don't wake up by then. So if I can fix my sleep schedule, I can go to the gym a few times a week, and by the time I get home, I normally wouldn't have woken up yet. So that's why I'm really trying to fix my sleep schedule at the moment. And I'm going to be honest, I do need to get out of the house more, because the normal time I go out the house on the average day, because obviously I work at home, I've got no reason to leave the house, is to go get coffee or food. Well, one, I'm trying to eat healthier, so I'm not going to, like, fast food restaurants and stuff. But coffee was a big thing. I used to go out of the house nearly every single day to go get a coffee, drive and get a coffee. For my birthday, I was given, like, a really nice coffee machine and, like, that type of thing. So I don't even need to go get coffee anymore. Like, the only type of coffee that I need if I want to go get it is iced coffee. Like, that's the only type. So, like, that's the problem. So I do need to get that out of the house more, and going to the gym would probably help that. Next question is, have I played The Last of Us? No, it is something that is on my list. I do have a PlayStation 4. But you know, it's on my list, so hopefully I'll be doing that relatively soon. Again, I play PlayStation 4 in bed a lot of the time, so potentially I'll do that in the next few days, because obviously Last of Us 2 is coming out relatively soon. And yeah, so I probably should do that. Like, I've heard it's very, very good. Next question. Well, let's just quickly see how long we've been recording for. 20 minutes. All right, we'll go for like 5 roughly minutes more. Did I hear that Broly is going to be in the new Dragon Ball Super movie? I don't think so. From what I've heard, it's not Broly. They're saying it's the first ever Super Saiyan. Like, some people I think have interpreted it wrong. I think. Because some people have said, oh, it's it's the ultimate Super Saiyan, and obviously everybody knew that to be Broly. But apparently it's not Broly. Apparently it's the first ever Super Saiyan. So he probably is a bit different. Someone says, you just reached Master Tier on EU Northeast, now you're leveling EU West. How big is the difference? You'll probably be able to get Diamond on EU West. Maybe. There have been a lot of people on EU Northeast who have got Challenger who haven't been able to get Diamond on EU West. And those are Challenger EU Northeast players haven't been able to get Diamond on EU West. So hopefully you'll be okay. But it is quite a big difference. So yeah. Next question. Do I edit the videos and stuff myself, or do I have an editor? I do everything myself. I am a pure one-man band. Everything. Recording, editing, thumbnails, titling, tags, putting ads on, talking to sponsors, doing all my finance stuff. Everything that I do is myself. 2 videos a day, every single day. So yeah, it sometimes gets a bit much, but it's okay. What is my favorite ice cream flavor? Orange, surprisingly. I know it's not a very normal ice cream flavor, but yeah, orange. It's, again, the restaurant, the ice cream parlor that I mentioned earlier, the one right at the Trevi Fountain. The orange flavor in there is so good. Like, so good. So yeah, orange. What superpower would you like to have, or if I could have one? Well, outside of immortality, if it's on the table, I definitely take immortality. That I just don't die. I don't need to have any other power. I just don't die, ever. Apart from that, probably earthbending. Like, I know there's always, like, flying and super strength. Earthbending, you can pretty much do all that as an earthbender anyway. So I'd probably do... earthbending. How many fan encounters have I had outside? I presume, encounters, conventions don't count. Because obviously conventions, a lot of people. Apart from conventions, I've had a few people recognize me when I've gone to my local movies, the cinema. Again, it's not it's a public place, but the Light Cinema in Cambridge is where I always go to the movies. Apparently there's one person who works there that watches my videos, because I got a tweet or a Snapchat after going, were you in the Light Cinema today? I work there or something. I was like, yes. And then apparently another time that there was someone sitting behind me a few years ago, and then I got a tweet saying, did you go to the Light Cinema? I was sitting behind you. No one ever comes up and says hi, by the way. Like, it's okay. You can come say hi. And then apart from that, I've been stopped in a KFC once. I got stopped in a Tesco Express once. And maybe like a couple more times. But again, it's all basically in Cambridge. Like, if you don't live in Cambridge, you're probably never going to see me in the wild. But yeah. But there's the person, why would I want immortality? Because I don't want to die. That's pretty much it. Like, I'd rather live in the known than live in the unknown. Completely. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be it, though. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you've got any more questions, put it in the comment section. If I'm bored in bed or anything like that, I can answer them. Someone's asking one final one is, what do you have on my shelf behind me? I could do a quick rundown, I guess. If I turn that a little bit, there we go. All right, so down here, this is 10 years worth of National Geographic magazines. I read through them occasionally. They're very educational, a lot of history in them. Up here, there's some manga. I think that... so you've got One Punch Man there. My Hero Academia there. You've got a Soldier Set of 76 statue there. You've got a Full Metal Alchemist manga there. You've got My Hero Academia on Blu-ray. Then you've got a Sea of Thieves Collector's Edition art book that is signed by the artist. Over here, you've got Game of Thrones or the Song of Ice and Fire. Some more books up there. That is the Lord of the Rings collection, with the Hobbit in it as well. There's my YouTube play button, Pokemon cards, Batman, hardbook comics that I've actually got more of them up there, Zig statue, and then all statues above. So yeah, a lot of stuff. But anyway, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on it. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.